Hello everyone, welcome to the 10th day session. On this day, we're going to deal about le verbe irrégulier en français. Le verbe irrégulier means irregular verbs. Now, there are lots of irregular verbs, but I've chosen only three. I've chosen aller, venir and prendre. I've chosen only three. Why? Because to tell you the difference between the regular and the irregular, to show you the difference between the regular and the irregular. Last session we dealt about the regular verbs. There you had a pattern. You remove the last two letters, have the base, added up the ending. For the first group, you added E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, END. And for the second group, you remove the IR and added the second group endings, that is IS, IS, ID, ISSONS, ISSEZ and ISSENT. And likewise the third group, we had last session we saw the RE was removed and we added up S, S, we did blank and ONS, EZ and ENT. Okay. Now I have chosen, there are lots of irregular verbs, but we are going to deal only with these three. You should know why. Okay. Now this is the irregular verb. Now you can see there is ER. Now, as I told you, all ER verbs are regular verbs. Now there is a ER verb, but it's not a regular verb. It's an irregular verb. Okay. Now, I'll tell you how the conjugation goes about. Now, aller, the conjugation is je vais, tu vas, il va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. Can you see the verb starts with A-L-L-E, aller. Okay, the verb starts with A, but here the conjugation starts with E, V. There is no similarity between the infinitive and the conjugation of the verbs. Can you see? The infinitive starts with A, but the conjugation goes with V. Why? There is no similarity. There is no order. Whereas the last session when we dealt about the regular verbs had a pattern. We removed this and we had this as a base. Throughout it was the same. Whereas here you see a difference. So you have to remember it. There is no way out. You have to read it by heart. The verb aller alone goes as a conjugation of this. Whereas there are more verbs, like there are more than 10,000 verbs which has the same pattern of conjugating. ER is removed and the endings are added. Regular. But with irregular, we have a problem. So what you have to do is you have to learn it by heart. There is no way out. There is no way out for the irregular verbs. Okay. Now again, I'll tell you. You can ask me if you tell. Yesterday in the last class, I said porter. Pardon, I chose the verb parler, right? The verb parler ends in ER and aller also ends in ER. How do I make the difference? Here it is ER. You say it's regular. Here also ER. What if I conjugate the same verb like aller, like parler? It's wrong. So how do I differentiate? Here differentiation is easy with irregular verbs, because with French, okay, with irregular verbs in French, it is enough that you get some 40 verbs. If it's enough to easily communicate in French, it's enough that you learn some 40 irregular verbs. And without these 40 irregular verbs, it is difficult for you to express yourself. You cannot express yourself clearly. So some 40 verbs, irregular verbs, you got to be learned. Okay, compared to 10,000 words, 40 is easy. Okay, if you learn these 40 verbs, they are the irregular ones. And remaining, everything will belong to the regular ones. ER, IR, the same pattern. It's easier then. So, irregular verbs got to be learnt and we can differentiate from the regular verbs. Okay, we will deal about the irregular. I will show you what are the irregular verbs also in the PPT. Okay, now I am going to read out, okay, please. Aller, to go. Je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont, elles vont. Je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont, elles vont. Okay? Next, let's get to the venue conjugation. Here also you can see IR. So, like yesterday, we cannot do this. Like, okay, the last session we cut that IR and we added up the ending. Here we cannot do it. Why? Because it's an irregular verb. Okay, so learning the irregular verbs, you will be able to differentiate between the regular and the irregular. So, learning the irregular verb is very, very, very important. Okay, now comes a venue conjugation in present. Je viens, tu viens, il vient, nous venons, vous venez, ils viennent. Je viens, tu viens, il vient, nous venons, vous venez, ils viennent. You can see the infinitive starts with VE. But you see VI. Ask me, where does VI comes from? It's an irregular verb. It doesn't have any similarity. It changes. Here again, for nu form you get E. For who form you get A. Again it goes back to I. Okay. Here also you can see it goes V. Again it starts with A, which has a similarity, a little bit of similarity over here. Again it goes back to V. So there is no regular pattern. Got me? So this got to be crammed up. There is no way out. You have to learn it by heart. Okay? So now I'll pronounce this. Je viens. Tu viens. Il vient. Elle vient. Nous venons. Vous venez. Ils viennent. Elles viennent. Okay? Now, the next verb, let's get in the Pondra. Here you can see RE. Okay? So, last session, we got out that RE and we added up yes, nothing ONS. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. It's an irregular verb. It has a typical conjugation of its own. Je prends, tu prends, il prend, nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent. You can see if it's a base, P-R-E-N-D, it starts with P-R-E-N-D, fine. S is there, we don't add S. Until this, it's the same, like we did, okay. Now you can you see the D here? P-R-E-N-D is a base, right? The D got to be there. Where is the D? You don't have the D there. Where is the D? You don't have the D there. Where is the D? You don't have the D here. But you have double N also. Okay, we miss the D and we have double N also here. And even the D is not there. So until this, it looks like the third group verb, but here it changes. So when there is no similarity in the conjugation, we call it irregular. We don't have a pattern. Last session, we saw there was a pattern. Once you remember the endings, you can conjugate as many first group verbs. You remember the second group endings, you can conjugate as many second group verbs. Okay, so now this is an example to show you that not all ER verbs will go with the same regular thing, not all IR will be done with the same regular thing, and not all RE will be done with the same regular thing. So in order to differentiate with that, you have to learn the irregular first. Okay, so I'll come back once again. We'll do this and we'll take up some exercises based on this. Aller, to go. Je vais means I go. You know the subject. I, you, he, she, we, you, they. You know, I go. Here it is I go. Here it is I come. I take. From this to take. So you can conjugate. I go, you go, he goes, she goes. Okay. Here only you get that. Okay. Only here, third person, you have the problem. Here you say comes. Here it takes. That's it. The infinitive and the conjugation the same. Go, 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 go will be the same. He goes. I come, you come, he comes. Okay. He comes. Only there you have the change. Other things the same. Okay. Now, aller, to go. Je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont, elles vont. Coming back to venir. Venir, to come. Je viens, tu viens, il vient, elle vient, nous venons, vous venez, ils viennent, elles viennent. Okay, next, the prendre verb. Prendre is to take. Je prends, tu prends, il prend, elle prend, nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent, elles prennent. Okay? So, based on these three verbs, we'll be getting into the application part. And I guess only when you know it by heart, you can get into it. You will see the difficulty. It's not as easy as you did last session. Okay? If you know this, it will be easy. Okay? Now, let's get into the application part. Now you can see the verb aller. Aller is not conjugated the same way it is. Okay? Now, Julien tirait à Paris avec ses parents. Julien dash à Paris avec ses parents. Aller got to be conjugated. So the aller conjugation should be known. Okay, only then you can go. The other things you have a pattern. Last session we did it easily. Now you have to remember it, or else you cannot do it. Next, Julien dash to Paris with his friends. Next, les deux grands amis dash au restaurant. The two best friends dash to the restaurant. Okay, so aller got to be conjugated again. Go. Okay, you have to conjugate to go in the subject. The subject here, les deux grands amis. Les grands, third person plural. Les deux grands amis. So, third person plural. Next. Vous dash souvent à Paris. Aller should be conjugated here. Okay. Next. Here it's a question. Okay, so you go often to Paris? Do you go often to Paris? So with an intonation. Then je dash au marché acheter des légumes. I dash to the market to buy vegetables. Ma meilleure amie dash en Angleterre. My best friend dash to England. Okay. Tu dash chez le dentiste. You dash to the dentist with the intonation. Tu dash chez le dentiste. Next. Ce soir, mon oncle et ma tante dash au cinéma. Okay. Tonight, my uncle and aunt dash to the cinema. Aller should be conjugated. My uncle and my aunt. Okay. So, what subject pronoun will it be? Okay. My uncle and my aunt. They. Both of them. They. Okay. They. Next. Nous dash dans les bois faire du vélo. We dash into the woods riding our bikes. Now let's see the conjugations. If you remember, you can easily do it. But if you haven't read it, memorized it, it will be difficult. You can see the answers. Julien va à Paris avec ses parents. Julien goes to Paris with his parents. Les deux grands amis vont au restaurant. You see, les deux grands amis, I told you it's feminine plural. Okay, next. Vous allez souvent à Paris? Vous allez souvent à Paris? You go often to Paris? You go often to Paris? Next. Je vais au marché acheter des légumes. I go to the market to buy. Okay. Je vais, conjugation. So, je vais, tu vas, il va. Okay. You should know that. Or else you cannot. Nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. So, you should cram it, and there is a possibility of you making mistakes in here. Until you get it, memorize it, you will not be able to do it. Okay. Next. Ma meilleure amie va en Angleterre. Okay. My best friend goes to England. Next. Tu vas chez le dentiste? Are you going to the dentist? Ce soir, mon oncle et ma tante vont au cinéma. Okay, my uncle and my aunt go to cinema. Next. Nous allons dans le bois faire du vélo. We go into the woods riding the bicycle. Next, venir conjugation. Tu dash avec moi. You dash with me. Notre fils dash chez nous demain. Okay? You can see the translation underneath. Marcel dash à midi. Okay? Next. Luc et Marie dash dans 1 heure. Attendez. Je dash aussi. Le chien ne dash pas avec nous. Les nuages dash de l'ouest. Cette huile dash de l'Angleterre. We'll see the answers right away, because once it is crammed, you will be able to do it. Okay, I've given you just short time. Okay, so let's get right away into the answers. Tu viens avec moi. Okay, venir is to come, I said. You come with me. Notre fils vient chez nous. Notre fils vient chez nous demain. Our son is coming to our house tomorrow. Marcel vient à midi. Marcel comes at noon. Okay. Luc et Marie viennent dans 1 heure. Luc and Marie come. They are coming in 1 hour. Next. Attendez, je viens aussi. Wait, I'm coming too. Le chien ne vient pas avec nous. The dog doesn't come with us. Les nuages viennent de l'ouest. Cette huile vient de l'Angleterre. Okay? So, only if you know the conjugation, you'll be doing it. Je viens, tu viens, il vient, nous venons. Venons isn't here, I guess. Nous venons, vous venez. Venez also is not applied here. Okay, and then ils viennent. Okay, once you know the conjugation, you'll be able to do it. Next. The verb prendre. Prendre is to take. Okay. Chaque matin, je dash mon petit déjeuner vers 8 heures. Every morning, I dash my breakfast at 8 a.m. Tu dash ta valise? You dash your suitcase? Non. Sorry, pardon. Nous dash soin de nos affaires. We dash take care of the things. I've given you answers also. Okay, no problem. Next. Vous dash cet ascenseur. Next. You take the lift. Next. Marie et Julie dash trop de temps pour ranger. Marie and Julie dash too much time to tidy up. Mon père et moi dash la décision. My father and I take the decision. Take. The verb take got to be conjugated here. Okay. Hélène dash le livre. Hélène dash the book. On dash une photo. So prendre, when you know it thoroughly, it's easy for you to do it. Okay. Now you can see. Chaque matin, je prends mon petit déjeuner vers 8 heures. Every morning, I take my breakfast around 8 o'clock. Tu prends ta valise. You take your suitcase. Nous prenons soin de nos affaires. We take care of our belongings, of our things, whatever. Nous prenez cet ascenseur. Pardon. Vous prenez cet ascenseur. You take the lift. Marie et Julie prennent trop de temps pour ranger. They're taking too much of time to tidy up. Mon père et moi prenons la décision. Okay, my father and I take the decision. Next. My father and I becomes nous. Okay, first person with another. Okay, so first person and another one becomes first person plural. Hélène prend le livre. Okay, Hélène takes a book. On prend une photo. We take a photo. Okay. So this application of the verbs should be difficult for you unless or until you cram these verbs. When you cram these verbs, it will be easy. When you learn it by heart, it will be easy. Likewise, are there only 3 verbs to be done with? No. I said a maximum 40 verbs to have a very good communication in French, written or oral. Okay? With the help of a dictionary, you can help yourself out with some 40 verbs. Okay? Minimum, we can do a level of 30 verbs at least. But 30 to 40 is fine. Okay? Now, we're going to see all those verbs. Okay? A minimum. I've selected a few. Let us see with this PPT, you can understand the verbs. I'll pronounce it a bit fast. You come along with me because there are lots of verbs to be learnt. Okay? Voilà. Les verbes irréguliers au présent de l'indicatif. Le verbe irrégulier. Irregular verbs in present indicator. Now you can see commencer and manger. There are 2 verbs here. Okay, to start and to eat. Commencer is to start or to begin. Manger is to eat. This looks like a ER. This also looks like a ER. We can remove the ER and write the endings. It's just the same thing, but there is one little change. I'll show you before. You can see ER is removed, E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT is added. So what's irregular in this? You can see a small cedilla under C. Can you see that? Underneath C, you get a small cedilla. Without that cedilla, it will be commençons. Now it is commençons. There is a cedilla. Can you see that? C cedilla. So this makes it irregular. Okay, it doesn't fall under regular pattern of ER verbs. Here also you can see it looks like a ER verb. Okay. It goes E, ES, E. Okay, you got to get ONS, but we are adding an E extra. Okay, actually there shouldn't be a E if it is ER verb. Okay, there shouldn't be a E there. Okay, ER verb E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT. When you don't write that E, it sounds mongo. Doesn't sound good. So we write a E extra. And this CER and GER. Okay, verbs. All the verbs starting with ending with CER and all the verbs ending in GER will have the same problem with E and C cedilla. Okay. Now I'll read it. You can come again, repeat it after me. Okay. Commencer. To start. Je commence. Tu commences. Il commence. Elle commence. Nous commençons, vous commencez, il commence, elle commence. Okay? I pronounce this also commence, this also commence. This is not, okay, without with S and with ENT, all same pronunciation. Only nous and vous varies. Commençons, commencez. Next. Manger, to eat. Je mange. Tu manges, il mange, elle mange, nous mangions, vous mangez, il mange, elle mange. The next one, acheter. Acheter is to buy. This also looks like ER, so can easily, okay, fine. E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT, yeah, fine. But can you see an accent grave over E? The sound of the E going down, I said accent grave. accent of, for nu and vu we don't have it, and for il we have it. Okay, so that matters with the sound. Okay, now let's conjugate this. J'achète, tu achètes, il achète, elle achète, nous achetons, vous achetez, ils achètent, elles achètent. Here, achetons, acheter. Here, achète, achète, achète. Achetons, acheter, achète. Next, vouloir. Vouloir means to wish or to want. Okay, come again with me. Je veux, tu veux, il veut, elle veut, nous voulons, vous voulez, ils veulent, elles veulent. Next, boire. Boire is to drink. Je bois, tu bois, il boit, elle boit, nous buvons, vous buvez, ils boivent, elles boivent. Okay? This is not a ER verb, this is not a third group verb. Okay? This is an exceptional conjugation that you have to cram. Okay, next. Ouvrir, to open. J'ouvre, tu ouvres, il ouvre, elle ouvre, nous ouvrons, vous ouvrez, ils ouvrent, elles ouvrent. Why I say ils ouvrent, elles ouvrent? Because here you got a consonant and here you got a vowel. So there would be a link between these two words. Okay. So you should not say this il ouvre. Okay. Ils ouvrent, elles ouvrent, vous ouvrez, nous ouvrons. The liaison. Okay. Consonant vowel. Next. Conduire, to drive. Je conduis, tu conduis, il conduit, elle conduit, nous conduisons, vous conduisez, ils conduisent, elles conduisent. Conduce is to drive. Okay? Next. Connaître. Connaître. Je connais, tu connais, il connaît, elle connaît, nous connaissons, vous connaissez, ils connaissent, elles connaissent. Then the verb faire. Okay, it's a very often used verb. Faire, it's an important verb too. Faire is to make or to do or to make. Okay, very often used verbs. Okay, this faire. Okay, je fais, tu fais, il fait, elle fait, nous faisons, ou faites, ils font, elles font. I repeat, it's a very important verb. Je fais, tu fais, il fait, elle fait, nous faisons, vous faites, ils font, elles font. Okay? Next, the verb appeler. Appeler also, you should be careful, looks like a ER verb. It looks like a ER verb, but the infinitive has only single L. Can you see the infinitive? While in the conjugation you get double L. For je, for tu, for il and elle. Whereas for nu and vous, you get only a single L. There you got to be careful. There you got to be careful. This will resemble like the infinitive, but the conjugation of je, tu, il and il will have a double L. So you should, okay, that is a liability of you making mistakes. So you have to cram it. There is no way out. You have to learn it by heart. So that's the only way out. So, okay. Now, appeler. J'appelle. Tu appelles. Il appelle. Elle appelle. Nous appelons. Vous appelez. Ils appellent. Elles appellent. I repeat. J'appelle. Tu appelles. Il appelle. Elle appelle. Nous appelons. Vous appelez. Ils appellent. Elles appellent. Next. Savoir. Savoir is to know. Okay. Now. Je sais. Tu sais. Il sait. Elle sait. Nous savons. Vous savez. Ils savent. Elles savent. Okay. Next, the verb devoir. Okay. Devoir. Devoir means to owe somebody something or must. Okay. Je dois. Tu dois. Il doit. Elle doit. Nous devons. Vous devez. Ils doivent. Elles doivent. Okay? Next. Écrire. Écrire is to write. Écrire. Okay? There is an accent aigu over here and it got to be in the conjugation also. Okay? Check. J'écris. When there is an apostrophe, I told you to read it as one word. J'écris. Tu écris. Il écrit. Elle écrit. Nous écrivons. Vous écrivez. Ils écrivent. Elles écrivent. Next, the verb voir. Pardon. Voilà. The word voir. Voir is to see. Je vois. Tu vois. Il voit. Elle voit. Nous voyons. Vous voyez. Il voit. Elle voit. Next, the verb envoyer. Envoyer is to send. Okay, send a letter, send a parcel, whatever. Okay, send. J'envoie. Tu envoies. Il envoie. Elle envoie. Nous envoyons. Vous envoyez. Ils envoient. Elles envoient. Next, the verb dire. Dire is to say. Je dis. This is also a very important verb, very often used. Okay, dire, to say. Je dis. Tu dis. Il dit. Elle dit. Can you see the difference? Here is yes, here is yes, here is T. If you are more inclined to English, you will start reading as this, did. No. Forget it. Forget it. Okay. Now, come again with me. Je dis. Tu dis. Il dit. Elle dit. Nous disons. Vous dites. Ils disent. Elles disent. Next. The verb mettre. Okay, mettre is to put. Okay. Je mets. Tu mets. Il met. Elle met. Nous mettons. Vous mettez, ils mettent, elles mettent. The next verb, partir. Partir is to leave. Je pars, tu pars, il part, elle part, nous partons, vous partez, ils partent, elles partent. Next the verb courir. Okay? Courir. Courir is to run. Okay? Je cours, tu cours, il court, elle court, nous courons, vous courez, il court, elle court. I repeat. Je cours, tu cours, il court, elle court, nous courons, vous courez, il court, elle court. Next verb pouvoir. Pouvoir is to be able to or to can. Okay. Next. Je peux, tu peux, il peut, elle peut, nous pouvons, vous pouvez, ils peuvent, elles peuvent. And pouvoir is also a very often used verb. You conjugate that and you can put the next verb in infinitive and make as many sentences as you want. Okay. Je peux, you can put another infinitive next. Je peux faire. Je peux conduire. Je peux vendre. Whatever verb, you can put in infinitive and make a sentence. Okay? Like a helping verb. Okay? Come again with me. Je peux. Tu peux. Il peut. Elle peut. Nous pouvons. Vous pouvez, ils peuvent, elles peuvent. And the verb vivre. Vivre is to live. Okay. Je vis, tu vis, il vit, elle vit, nous vivons, vous vivez, ils vivent, elles vivent. Next, the verb recevoir. Recevoir is to receive. Okay? Je reçois, that is a cedilla underneath. Okay, you get the S sound, not requa. That is a cedilla which makes it, which gives a S sound for that. Okay? Je reçois, tu reçois, il reçoit, elle reçoit, nous recevons, vous recevez, ils reçoivent, elles reçoivent. I repeat, recevoir, to receive. Je reçois, tu reçois, il reçoit, elle reçoit, nous recevons, vous recevez, ils reçoivent, elles reçoivent. Then the verb plaire. Plaire is to please. Okay? Je plais, tu plais, il plaît, elle plaît, nous plaisons, vous plaisez, il plaise, elle plaise. Then the verb sentir. Sentir is to feel or to smell. Okay? Sentir. Okay? Je sens, tu sens, nasal accent. Sentir. Je sens, tu sens, ils sont, elles sont, nous sentons, vous sentez, ils sont, elles sont. The verb battre, to fight. Je bats, tu bats, il bat, elle bat, nous battons, vous battez, ils battent, elles battent. Offrir, to offer. Okay. J'offre, j'offre, tu offres, il offre, elle offre, nous offrons, vous offrez, ils offrent, elles offrent. Repeat. J'offre, tu offres, il offre, elle offre, nous offrons, vous offrez, ils offrent, elles offrent. Next, the verb comprendre. Comprendre is to understand. Okay, I understand, you understand, likewise. Okay. Je comprends, tu comprends, il comprend, elle comprend, nous comprenons, vous comprenez, ils comprennent, elles comprennent. Okay? Next, the verb payer. Okay? Payer is to pay. There are two ways of conjugating this verb. Both the conjugations are accepted. You can go conjugate like paye or paie. Both the conjugation and also same sounds the same, but the spelling is different. Je paie, tu paies, il paie, elle paie, nous payons, vous payez, il paie, elle paie. Okay? Next. The verb perdre, to lose. Okay. Je perds, tu perds, il perd, elle perd, nous perdons, vous perdez, ils perdent, elles perdent. Dormir, the verb dormir, to sleep. Je dors, tu dors, il dort, elle dort, nous dormons, vous dormez, ils dorment, elles dorment. And the verb servir. Servir is to serve. Je sers, tu sers, il sert, elle sert, nous servons, vous servez, ils servent. Sortir, to go out. Okay. Je sors, tu sors, il sort, elle sort, nous sortons, vous sortez, ils sortent, elles sortent. Suivre, to follow. Je suis, you might have seen the auxiliary verb having the same thing. Suis, je suis. It depends on the context where you use it. Okay. Je suis professeur, I am teacher. Je suis le professeur, I follow the teacher. Okay, two different things. Here it is follow. Okay, depends on the context. Okay, je suis, tu suis, il suit, elle suit, nous suivons, vous suivez, ils suivent, elles suivent. The verb lire, lire to read. Je lis, tu lis, il lit, elle lit, nous lisons, vous lisez, ils lisent, elles lisent. Rire. Rire is to laugh. Je ris, tu ris, il rit, elle rit, nous rions, vous riez, il rit, elle rit. The verb croire. Croire is to believe. Je crois, tu crois, il croit, elle croit, nous croyons, vous croyez, il croit, elle croit. Okay? These are few These are the few irregular verbs that you have to learn by heart, and there is no way out. There is no way out. Once these verbs are learned, I've skipped these three verbs because I didn't include these three verbs in there. Okay, so the three verbs are here. With this, around some 36, around some 39 verbs are there. Okay, some 39 verbs. So these 40 verbs, if you are able to get around some 40 verbs, you will be able to communicate very easily in French. And this part of the conjugation is the only complicated part in French. You master the PPT we just saw now. Okay, you just saw now. These conjugations, if you are thorough with, okay, and the regular you already know, you have a pattern, you can do it. Avoir and être, we did it earlier. With these verbs, you can easily try communicate in French, written or oral. With the help of a dictionary, you can build up a vocabulary. But knowing these verbs is not easy because the infinitive and the conjugation is not the same. Even the regular thing, you saw the difference. Even in the regular verbs, ER, there was an ending. The ending was changing each and every time. For ER, we had E, for IR, we had IS and all that. Now, you can see that totally the verb changes. Totally, almost whole thing changes. So, the infinitive and the conjugation is not one and the same. So, you got to be thorough with these 40 verbs, and French is in your fingertips. Okay, the most difficult part in French is this conjugation, that's all. Once you get this conjugation right, that's it. French will be in your fingertips. I can guarantee you that. With the help of dictionary, you can start writing. Okay, now let's go one more time over here. Now I'll make a difference so that you can clearly get the things. Now, as I told you yesterday, the classification, remember what I told you. Now, I'll classify what are the things we saw here. Now, we saw the verb avoir and être. We saw the verb avoir and être. Okay? These are two auxiliary verbs. Very important verbs I told you. You have to learn by heart. This will help you to express passé composé, past tense. Okay? And most commonly used verbs in day-to-day language. Okay? Then I told you these are auxiliary verbs. And next I told you it's regular. Why it's called regular? Because you had a pattern. You remove the ER and you add up the endings. As I told you yesterday. This last class, okay? And IR and RE. Okay? You can see ER, IR, RE. So there you have a pattern, you can conjugate. You know the endings E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT. Easy. IS, IS, IT, ISS, ONS, ISS, EZ, ISS, ENT. And RE is removed, SS, a blank, nothing is added up, ONS, EZ, ENT. Fine. So regular is very easy. Okay, if you get the regular also, so you mastered it, you can easily do it. But here comes a problem. This is what we are just dealt with. This is what we just saw in the PPT, and I just showed you some of the examples how it changes. It is ending in ER, but it's not a regular verb. It is ending in IR, it's not a regular verb. It is ending in RE, it's not a regular verb. They have a difference. There's no similarity between the infinitive and there is no pattern at all. So if you cram these 40 verbs, some 40 verbs enough, some limited. That's what I focus on, very important verbs and I've given you. Okay, so once again we'll go with this and finish off. Okay, and this 40 verbs I leave it to you. I want you to replay this video again and again so that you can get these conjugations right. It's not an easy task, you can't get it in one day. Okay, it depends on your practice. Okay, now aller, to go. Je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont, elles vont. Very often use verb aller. Okay, venir also. Je viens, venir goes with VE, but VI. Why? I don't know. You have to learn it. You have to memorize it. There's no way out. Je viens, tu viens, il vient, elle vient, nous venons, vous venez, ils viennent, elles viennent. Any verb. Then the verb prendre. Prendre is also very much used verb. Prendre, to take. Je prends, tu prends, il prend, elle prend, nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent, elles prennent. Okay? So, this is it. So, be clear with the classification of the verbs. Now, we are dealing only with the present tense. We are dealing only with the present tense. The verbs that we divided here, auxiliary, regular, and this is irregular. The third one is irregular. The irregular is just what I showed you in the PPT and I pronounce it for you. You have to learn it by heart and memorize it. Am I clear? So, we'll do it once again. Allez. Je vais. Tu vas. Va goes up and this va comes down. Okay. Tu vas. Il va. Elle va. Nous allons. You get a Z sound. Nous allons. There is a link. Nous allons. Vous allez. Ils vont. Elles vont. Venir. Je viens. Tu viens. Il vient. Elle vient. Nous venons. Vous venez. Ils viennent. Elles viennent. Prendre, to take. Je prends. Tu prends, il prend, elle prend, nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent, elles prennent. So this is all about the verbs and the conjugation in present tense. And if you got any doubt, let me check if you have any comments or any questions. Can I have the phone? Any comments, questions? Okay, fine. I guess there is, okay, things to do. I don't see any doubts in there because this got to be crammed. There is nothing to do about it. Okay, so you have to cram it, and once you cram these verbs, 40 verbs, you'll be able to communicate very easily. That I can guarantee you. But cramming takes time. But if you have the flap for the language, you can really go for it, and you can really easily get it. Okay, so thank you. See you in the next session.